And tonight's State of the Union speech comes exactly a week after President Biden's visit to the southern border down in Texas. As polls show, voters nationwide are increasingly alarmed over the migrant crisis. Encounters along the southern border already up more than 1 million and are on pace for more than 2.7 million just this fiscal year alone. That's enough to set an all-time high for a fourth straight year. Now, the president has blamed Republicans for not passing the bipartisan border security bill. But the National Review's Rich Lowry says don't believe that blame game, writing this. He said, quote, "The border crisis isn't something that happened to Biden. It's not a product of circumstances or understandable policy mistakes. No, he sought it and created it on principle and as a matter of urgency," end quote there from his latest piece. And National Review editor-in-chief Rich Lowry joins us now. Rich, it's good to have you this morning. Let's get straight to it. I want to talk to you about that Gallup poll that came out this week. It found that, voters now see immigration as the top problem facing the country, even ahead of economy, inflation, overall government concerns. Polls also indicate a majority of voters disapprove of President Biden's handling of the issue. Does he address it tonight?
Yeah, he has to. It's astonishing how important immigration has become to rival or top the economy. We've never seen that. Immigration is usually a second or third order issue. So he'll blame Republicans for walking away from the bipartisan deal he cut with some Republican senators and say he wants to solve the problem. He wants to shut down the border, but Republicans aren't letting him. And I think he gets some mileage from that. But the problem for him at the end of the day is he did, with his policies, create this crisis by reversing everything Trump had done that had created a sustainable, orderly border. And he did this as a matter of ideological passion. His left wanted him to reverse all this stuff. He was warned this is going to create a disaster and chaos, and sure enough, it has. Yeah, and your piece thoroughly lays out that unraveling started day one, and then again, 2 weeks later after he took office. Is there anything that President Biden could say tonight in the State of the Union that would turn the tide for him? No, I don't think so. Not on the border or in general. The bar he has to cross is kind of a negative one. He can't trip when he's walking down or back from giving the speech. He can't mumble. He has to seem energetic, and he can't have any verbal gaffes. I expect him to pass those bars. This is a speech where you just basically have to stand there for an hour and read a teleprompter in a speech that you've rehearsed for weeks and been working on for weeks. So I think he'll pass that bar. He'll get heckled a lot. Speaker Johnson told Republicans not to do it. He's right about that, but they're going to do it anyway. And that will provide probably the most high wire moments for Biden. Can he successfully parry whatever's being shouted at him the way he did last year? Yeah. And, also this State of the Union is being billed as a reset button for President Biden amid all of his polling struggles that you and I have been talking about. And after that, the New York Times poll showing more than 7 in 10 voters, including 61% of those who voted for him back in 2020, saying he's just too old for the job. To your point, though, reading a teleprompter for an hour, it's a controlled environment. He's been practicing for weeks. No Q&A with reporters there. How game-changing will tonight really be for American voters who have concerns? I don't think it's very game-changing. In general, State of the Unions aren't game-changing. You can think of a few examples. Bill Clinton really reset his presidency with the State of the Union after the so-called Republican Revolution when he got wiped out in the midterms in 1994. Otherwise, it's hard to think of examples. So even if Biden's performance is fine or good tonight, and the speech is popular, they're usually popular in the instant polls afterwards because, you say the stuff that's popular, right? So, but he'll still be 81 years old. He'll still look very rickety and frail. He'll still be mumbly when he's out doing more typical communications. So it's not going to reset this race. But you have 30 million, 27 million people watching, so you want to do as well as you can. Yeah, the pressure is on. Every handshake, will be picked apart, and we'll see how Republicans handle themselves in that crowd as well. Tonight will be interesting. Rich Lowry, thanks so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.